Praised be Jesus Christ, now and forever. Thank you again for all those who helped our little appeal for our new businesses in Egypt. We reached our target, so we're most grateful for that. This Saturday I was in Stockholm in Sweden, where we put in the fourth shrine of prayer for persecuted Christians, blessed by Cardinal Arborelius of Stockholm, a beautiful ceremony in the Syriac Catholic Church with many clergy and faithful. So important that we continue to pray for our brethren who are persecuted and being persecuted for their faith. In one gospel, when we hear the story of James and John, the sons of thunder, it's their mother asking the Lord for special places for her sons in the kingdom, as mothers do. In St. Matthew's Gospel, it's St. James and St. John themselves who come to Jesus and ask for special places, which, as we remember, makes all the other apostles indignant. It's the response of Jesus which is so interesting and instructive for us this week. First, of course, the Lord tells them they have no idea what they're asking for, which might actually be the case with many of our own prayers. He questions whether they are able to receive the baptism that he will undergo. With their usual braggadocio, they respond that they can, also not having a clue what that means, but expecting it's something fantastic if Jesus is doing it first. Jesus promises that they will receive their request. They will be baptized with his baptism. His baptism, as we know, was the suffering of the cross, leading to his resurrection. St. James was martyred, the first of the apostles to receive that crown. St. John was not martyred, but he was exiled, as he himself tells us in the book of Revelation, to the island of Patmos for preaching the gospel, for being faithful to his master. Cardinal Arborelius, in his homily on Saturday, as we installed the shrine of Mary, Mother of the Persecuted, reminded the congregation that the red robes he was wearing as a cardinal were meant to symbolize his willingness to shed his blood for Christ. The red color, he said, was the color of martyrs, the color of blood. In fact, the baptism that all who hope for the kingdom must be willing to face as the price of their fidelity. As most of us were baptized as babies, we'd not have the ability to answer the question if it was posed to us, are you willing to share the baptism of Christ in order to begin this journey as a Christian? However, as adults, especially when we proclaim our faith each week, and most certainly when we reaffirm our baptismal promises each Easter, we are really saying yes to that question. Are we responding with the same braggadocio, the same lack of knowledge of James and John when they said yes to Jesus so quickly? The cardinal was speaking to people in the congregation who had known martyrs, who had left their homes because of persecution. I spoke with a Dominican priest who had known well the holy martyrs Father Ragid Ghani and Bishop Raho, who were both martyred in Mosul in 2007 and 2008, and who himself had to leave Mosul in 2009 because it was so dangerous to be a priest there. In Sweden, and in much of the West, we are not yet facing the baptism that they faced in Iraq and Syria, and our brethren are facing in so many countries. But as the Cardinal said, fidelity to Christ, that willingness to say yes to his call in a deeply secular culture, will result in some kind of witness or martyrdom. It is the yes to Jesus, not made out of a desire for special places in the kingdom, but out of love and fidelity. It is the yes to Jesus, not of boastful pride, but humble service, willing to go where he leads, not counting the cost, but walking the disciples' path, following in the steps of the Master. Brethren, rejoice, be perfected, be comforted, be of the same mind, be at peace, and the God of peace and love will be with you.